Hello and welcome to a new week here on Granada Reports.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on the programme this evening.
They've done it for Olivia. The law named after the little girl from Liverpool shot dead in her own home now means convicted criminals will have to appear in court for sentence and face the loved ones of those they've hurt.
How an addiction to gambling played a part in Ellen's tragic choice to take her own life.
The Lioness and former Liverpool player bravely opening up about the emotional and physical pain of having a miscarriage.
Have you ever seen the like in your life?
They thought it was all over, but Rochdale can still win promotion after their last-minute heartbreak at the weekend.
And after taking a break last year, Liverpool's amazing Africa Oye Festival is back, but now as an all-ticket event. Well, first tonight, and today is a huge day for the family of Olivia Pratt-Bell, shot dead in her own home in Liverpool in August 2022.
Yeah, the government's Victims and Courts Bill has fully passed all its stages in Parliament and gone for royal assent and contain within it Olivia's Law, which will compel those convicted of crimes to actually appear in court to face being sentenced.
Well, as we know, the man who shot Olivia refused to leave his cell when he was sentenced to life with a minimum tariff of 43 years. Other people convicted of serious crimes, like the nurse Lucy Letby, also refused to appear in the dock as sentence was being passed. It's the end of a long battle for Olivia's mum and her Face the Family campaign.
Well, we're delighted to say that with us now is Olivia's mum, Cheryl, and her auntie, Antonia. Thank you so much for coming here. We're delighted to have you. You've campaigned tirelessly for this in Olivia's memory. What does it mean to know that it's finally going to come into law? Because it's just waiting for that imminent seal of royal assent, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, even though it said it's in, we're still waiting for that final stamp. But yeah, it's amazing. We've actually got this far so quick. It's about 3 years. It feels like it's gone on forever, but also at the same time feels it's only been like yesterday. Yeah.
As you say, Cheryl, 3 years, 3 long years in many ways. Does it feel real?
Not at the moment, no. I'd like to say until we've got the absolute stamp, royal assent, and then, yeah.
And Antonia, this campaign has seen people from all over the world rally behind it, hasn't it? You're so grateful for those who've backed the campaign, put their name in that petition and got you to this point.
Absolutely. I think that the support we've been shown from, unfortunately, that awful night, and we continue to get shown, it's just immense. We've got no words of gratitude to them people. You know, we get messages from all over, and it means so much that they've followed us, you know, supported and followed us from day one and continue to follow. I've had messages galore today of people supporting, saying, you know, everyone's waiting patiently for it to be announced that royal assent is completed. So it means a lot.
Anthony, we've followed your journey from the start, the whole family's journey, from the campaigning in Liverpool to your journey down to Downing Street, meeting one Prime Minister, then meeting another Prime Minister. Were there days where you asked yourself, can I continue to do this? Can we as a family continue to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think after meeting Rishi Sunak, and then obviously we were, you know, sort of promised things were going to go in the right direction, things would be happening, and then obviously new parliamentary, we felt defeated. We, you know, trying to turn this grief into something of change for the right thing to do, so other families and other victims don't have to, you know, suffer the way we have. We absolutely had many days where we were like, why? Just why are we doing this? But her little face kept us going, that it was the right thing to do. It's morally the right thing and legally the right thing to do. And I think she's kept us fighting.
Yeah. I'm sure she has. And Cheryl, this all came about because Olivia's killer refused to face you when you wanted to read your impact statement. What impact did that have on you, the fact he wasn't there?
The way I put it was like being punched in the stomach, because at the time we weren't aware that you had a choice of, you know, to appear in the dock. And I thought, well, you've been there for nigh on 4 weeks every day. Now is the point where you decide, no, I'm not going up. It's not right.
It's like the final insult.
Yeah, yeah. But I was to and fro on whether I was going to do me impact statement, and then I thought, no, I'm going to do it anyway, because at some point across the TV, the board, whichever, he will hear what I had to say.
Yeah.
Well, Charlotte and Antonia, I know this journey isn't finished for you. We know that you're going to take your campaign to Jersey. Thank you very much for talking to us. A big day for the family, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Well, next night, and in the last few hours, an inquest concluded that a managing director from Cheshire took her own life, with her addiction to gambling playing a significant part in her death.
Yes, Ellen Mulvey died in November last year. Our reporter Tim Scott's been at her inquest in Warrington this afternoon. Tim, the hearing was told Ellen had tried to deal with a gambling problem, but to no avail.
That's right, Gamal, but as the inquest here in Warrington heard, she was simply unable to get her gambling addiction under control. Ellen Mulvey was 44 years old when she died in hospital in Macclesfield on the 7th of November last year. At her inquest here in Warrington, the court heard Ellen had had a gambling addiction for around 8 years leading up to her death. She'd fallen into financial difficulties following the breakup of a relationship, and she would use online gambling sites in an attempt to get the funds that she needed. At many points, she would sometimes gamble away all of her wages. At one point, she registered herself with GamStop, which meant she was prevented from using UK-based gambling websites. But then she just switched to using unregulated sites based abroad and continued to feed her addiction. Her partner, when she died, Deanne Tompkins, told the court that Ellen would get angry and upset if she tried to mention finances or gambling. And after Ellen's death, she found 62 separate gambling payments on Ellen's bank statements, amounting to around £10,000. Well, after the inquest here today, Deanne and the family solicitor both called for tighter regulation of online gambling.
I don't think it's just about the unregulated. I think it's the regulated and the unregulated. Like, if you look at Ellen's case, her harm was caused by the legal, the regulated. That's where her gambling disorder it was fully fledged. But I think more needs to be done across both.
Ellen's family and others who we represent are highly concerned about that the steps being taken by the Gambling Commission are having no meaningful effect in protecting the public from these platforms. It's vital that urgent action is taken by the government and the Gambling Commission to tackle the individuals and entities which operate these platforms.
Concluding the inquest today, Assistant Coroner Elizabeth Wheeler registered Ellen's cause of death as suicide contributed to by her gambling disorder. Katie Gamal.
Tim, many thanks indeed.
Well, the Gambling Commission told us after the inquest they were deeply saddened by Ellen's death. They said they had a robust regulatory framework which was being boosted by government investment of £26 million over the next 3 years.
They went on, addressing criminal activity and unlicensed gambling markets requires a coordinated approach between the Commission, domestic and international regulators, GamStop, licensed operators, technology platforms, the financial sector and law enforcement bodies. We continue to strengthen this collaboration to better protect consumers. Now, the England international and former Liverpool footballer Missy Kearns has told ITV News of the trauma around her recent miscarriage.
Yeah, Missy, who now plays for Aston Villa, announced her pregnancy just over a month ago. But 2 weeks later, she felt unwell during training and was told to go to hospital by the club doctor, a decision she says probably saved her life. When she arrived at hospital, she was told she had sepsis and had lost her baby.
Now she's been speaking to Stacey Foster in the hope others do not feel the need to suffer in silence.
Like, you was here on the day you seen, like, I was fine 1 minute and then the next minute I was like getting the shakes, wasn't I?
Last month, England and Aston Villa footballer Missy Kearns lost her baby at 15 weeks.
We went to the hospital and that's when we found out that straight away we lost the baby and that I'd got sepsis. So, like, it was a shock because I'd literally been doing Pilates and gym an hour before and my whole life just changed like that.
On comes Missy Kearns.
Missy made her debut for the Lionesses last year and has earned 3 caps for England. She wanted to share her story to help others going through the same experience.
What were those first few days like?
We had to go through like 3-4 days of hell in hospital, the two of us. Things like this you can't control, and if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I just think, like, you need to, sometimes you feel guilty. Is this something I done? Is this something I didn't? But it's not, and I hope people out there who've been through it know that it's what's meant to be will be, and it happens for a reason, even though it's so hard to come to terms with that.
Right now, she is focused on healing, but Missy is looking forward to getting back to football with her club and country. Stacey Foster, ITV News, Birmingham.
And there's more of that interview and links to organisations which provide help and support to those affected by miscarriage on our website, itv.com/Granada.
Time now for a look at what's to come on the national news. Here's Mary with the details.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, Donald Trump says the King will be very safe in the US, despite Saturday's shooting. A deal's been reached which could end the Birmingham bin strikes. And Sunita speaks out after the I'm a Celeb live final descends into chaos. Well, do join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Now, veteran Andy Reid from St Helens has become the first triple amputee to finish the London Marathon. Andy lost both of his legs and an arm when he stepped on an explosive device in Afghanistan. It took him 12.5 hours to complete the run. He says he did it for all of his fellow soldiers and veterans.
It was emotional at times, but I know why I'm doing it, don't I? I know to raise money to support other veterans with disabilities and also veterans with mental health and drug and alcohol issues as well. So that's in your mind when you're doing these things. When it gets tough, you remember why you're doing these kind of things and you dig in and you get to the end.
Yeah, what a guy. Amazing achievement. We're next to the contestant from Stockport on ITV's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, who won the top prize.
You've won £1 million.
Yeah, incredible scenes. That was the moment on last night's show that Roman Dubrovsky, a retired IT analyst, became only the 7th person to win $1 million in the history of the show. The programme was filmed some time ago, so Roman had to wait until it had been broadcast in order to get his cash. Now he says he wants to enjoy his retirement and move house.
Congratulations, Roman. It should also be said that he did it with 2 lifelines left, and the £1 million question he guessed correctly was that Bass Ale was the trademarked logo used since 1876, referenced in the James Joyce novel Ulysses and depicted in works by both Manet and Picasso. So he is obviously a clever clogs, and so am I for knowing that information.
You didn't. You wish. Well, anyway, from one huge brain, Not come out. To another, Chris Hall. And Chris, the big fight has got the green light.
That's either a bit of sarcasm or you're buttering me up for something. I'll figure it out. But yes, after years of waiting, a heavyweight showdown between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua has finally been agreed. Fury's been calling for it, and today Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn confirmed that a deal to stage the biggest fight in British boxing history has been signed. It's expected to be in November. To football, and a win at home against Brentford tonight will put Manchester United on the brink of Champions League qualification. Like Liverpool and Aston Villa, United are 8 points clear of the chasing pack with just a handful of games left. Interim boss Michael Carrick has 5 games now to land the job permanently, though he refuses to put himself under pressure.
I really don't think like that. I just keep thinking about what we can achieve, what success looks like for me personally in some ways, but more about the group, the staff, the players in the club. I think that's the most important thing.
Arne Slot says Liverpool will have to wait and see whether Mo Salah has played his last game for the club. The striker only has 4 games left before he leaves Anfield, but left the field with a leg injury during the 3-1 win over Crystal Palace, which strengthened Liverpool's European bid. Manchester City will continue their push for a domestic treble next month after securing their place in the FA Cup final. The League Cup winners, currently second in the Premier League, will take on Chelsea at Wembley after fighting back from a goal down against Southampton to win their semi-final 2-1. Bolton Wanderers are hoping to follow City to Wembley. They booked their place in the League One playoffs with a 1-1 draw at Bradford. Elsewhere, Stockport County need just a point to join them after they beat Peterborough 3-1. In League Two, Tranmere must win their final game to guarantee survival after losing 3-0 at MK Dons. And rock bottom Barrow, who lost 3-0 at Cambridge, need a win and for other results to go their way. But there were jubilant scenes for 2 of our non-league clubs. AFC Fylde winning promotion to the National League as they won the National League North title, while Bury continue their revival as they made it back-to-back promotions. They'll play in the Northern Premier League Premier Division next season. The champagne stays on ice, though, for Manchester City women. Their bid for a first Super League title in a decade hit a bump with a 3-2 defeat to Brighton, but their destiny remains in their own hands. Next, police are investigating an online video which appears to show a York City player punching a Rochdale fan. The 2 clubs met in a National League title decider at Spotland. 3 local men have been charged with pitch encroachment at the end of the game. One of those, along with another man, has been charged with public order offences. As David Chisnall reports, Dale's dreams of promotion now rest in the playoffs.
A handshake and a hug after the most dramatic ending to a title decider that'll go down in footballing folklore. Rochdale's return to the Football League must now go via the playoffs and Wembley after heartbreak in their title decider with York.
I didn't say this, but another fan said it. It'll be sweeter at Wembley.
Wembley Stadium, bigger occasion, bigger stage. So it's it just makes that moment even a little bit more special after this.
Well, ahead of kick-off, no one in the sellout crowd at Spotland was aware of the drama that was about to unfold.
It's like a cup final, so I'm really excited, really nervous.
As long as they come off that pitch, knowing that they've given everything, whatever the outcome is after that, I'm happy.
Brilliant ball to the
More than happy, Dale were delirious when in the 95th minute of the must-win match, they took the lead. But with more time added on for celebrating fans to be cleared off the pitch, home hearts were then broken. The 1-1 draw not enough to stop York being crowned National League champions and promoted.
So it's celebrations for York, heartbreak for Rochdale. Their dreams of going up automatically are over, but importantly, their hopes of promotion are not, as all eyes now turn to the playoffs.
I'm so proud of the team, so proud of our fans today. For whatever reason, it wasn't written as we thought it was, but maybe it's written a different way.
But with a home playoff semi-final to either Scunthorpe or Southend on Sunday, Rochdale must quickly forget this most unforgettable game. David Chisnall, ITV News, Rochdale.
Yeah, good luck to Dale in the playoffs. Now to golf, though, and Royal Lytham will host the Open Championship in 2028. The course has staged the Open 11 times before, the last time coming in 2012. Among the courses Lytham has beaten to the honour is Turnberry, which belongs to US President Donald Trump. Now to a couple of important wins in both rugby codes. In Union, Sale Sharks finally enjoyed their first league win of 2026, beating Harlequins 52 points to 33 in a thrilling 13-try match, while in Rugby League, St Helens are level on points with Super League leaders Leeds after they beat Wakefield 18-12. Finally, to ice hockey, and Manchester Storm are returning to the AO Arena next season. They're leaving their Altrincham home to move back to where it all began for them in the 1990s. This morning, I joined some of their biggest fans as the club broke the news.
30 years ago, this arena staged many a stormy night. A dance floor turned ice rink brought Manchester the biggest hockey crowds in all of Europe. Now, after a 24-year wait, Manchester Storm are going home.
Hockey is just, it's on the rise, fastest growing sport in the UK by a large portion. This is such a good opportunity for the Manchester Storm to continue what we're doing, to get back to what we were. We believe in our fan base, we believe in the sport, we believe in this city. You know, this isn't something that we've taken lightly, we're here to stay.
It's a real landmark moment for visiting fans from all of our other 9 fan bases that we currently have around the UK. It's so exciting for them to be able to come here.
Storm, who folded in 2002, reformed a decade ago, making Altringham's Planet Ice their new home. But after reaching their first playoffs in 24 years, it's time for an arena as big as their ambition.
You hear all these stories from back in that time, in that era when they were here, and all the magic that happened and the success that the team had within that era, and that's something that we're going to have to replicate and something I'm looking forward to doing.
Bit of pressure on you then, isn't it, to bring some results?
Yeah, there's always pressure, but no pressure, no diamonds, I think.
So after all this time, what can we give the fans to say thanks for everything?
The first to hear today's surprise were some of Storm's most loyal fans.
We take them back home.
Hazel recalls when they won Super League and broke the European attendance record with more than 17,000 fans. Now she'll relive those glory days from the exact same seat.
I can't believe it. They've just given me my old seats back from 30 years ago, 2 season tickets. What a Monday morning.
This is crazy. I'm very excited to come in September.
I'm expecting noise. We're expecting a lot of new fans as well. There's never been an atmosphere as it was back then when Storm used to play here. From brass bands to DJs on our concourses, we cannot wait to welcome them back. And I just hope we get back to 17,000 fans.
We might be able to challenge for Europe in a few seasons because we've got a big arena.
To come in and then see this, that we're coming home for 30 years, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I can barely believe it, to be honest. I always thought hopefully one day we'd get back here.
When the fixtures are released in July, every fan will discover the official date for a homecoming that's going down a storm. You're going to have to shout pretty loud to fill this space. What are you going to shout?
Go Storm!
Yeah, well said, Freddie. And Storm's first match back at the AO Arena will be in September. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a great occasion.
What a night it will be. Chris, thank you so much. Well, next tonight to another firm favourite in the calendar, this one for music lovers in the region.
Yeah, Africa Oye has been entertaining the crowds with its unique blend of music and culture for more than 30 years.
But now rising costs and new security rules means this summer's event may look quite different to previous festivals.
Our Merseyside correspondent Andy Bonner explains.
Africa Oye is billed as the UK's biggest celebration of African and Caribbean music and culture. From humble beginnings in 1992, it's grown into a massive outdoor festival attracting top-class artists. There's even indoor gigs as part of the Yoko Ono-Lennon Lunchtime concert series, all aimed at bringing the world closer together.
It's a beautiful thing to study music, but anything outside of what we are born into, and I think that's also really important for understanding, and especially in this world. You don't need to speak the language to understand the songs that I'm playing. I think it's such a good unifier of people.
But now things are about to change. Once described as perhaps Britain's best free festival, the main outdoor event in Liverpool's largest outdoor space is going to be fenced and ticketed.
It may be hard to believe on a day like today, but up to 80,000 people can come here to Sefton Park for an Africa Oye festival. What's not known is whether they'll ever be able to achieve those sorts of attendance figures again.
The festival's always been free and unfenced and accessible to all. That's a great idea practically, but we live in a different world now in terms of security, in terms of the cost of infrastructure. And I mean, our last edition in 2024, we had 40,000 people a day. You know, we were kind of pushing to the limits of what we felt was a safe environment for people to come and enjoy themselves.
Bosses say astronomical rises in infrastructure cost and new security rules introduced after the Manchester Arena bomb have simply made the free model unsustainable. After a year's hiatus to save the venture, daily capacity will be reduced to just 15,000. But they're determined the festival won't lose its character.
It becomes quite a party. People love it. We want the security and the safe space, but we also want people to still have the flexibility and the freedom that they have at Africa OYE, in the sense of the freedom of movement, and families coming together and the local community coming together. We don't want to lose that feeling. I think it's so important.
Organisers say they will keep June's event accessible and tickets affordable. For now, the party isn't over for Africa OYE. Andy Bonner, ITV News, Liverpool.
I'm sure it's still going to be a fabulous event.
Yeah, it was missed last year.
Here's Georgie with the weather.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello, good evening. After the prolonged dry spell, some much needed showers at first this evening. They'll clear away fairly quickly, leaving us with a largely dry day tomorrow. And the outlook for the next few days is mainly settled, courtesy of this blocking high, keeping any areas of low pressure at bay. So not a lot more rain in the forecast, apart from the showers this evening. Dry for the next few days, but some strengthening winds as well. So for tonight, those showers rattle through fairly quickly. A lot of instability, so there could be the odd rumble of thunder, then some clearing skies. But through the second part of the night, we pick up more of a northeasterly flow, so more cloud, mist and murk, hill fog as well. But I think the main feature tonight is much milder compared to recent nights, with lows of 7 or 8 degrees. So tomorrow morning starts off on a bit of a damp and a grey note, but the good news is an improving picture. That northeasterly breeze will strengthen. So although we'll introduce some cooler, fresher air, it's also cleaner and dry. So gradually we'll start to see some beautiful spells of sunshine developing. But yes, it will be fresher, highs of around 15 degrees. So looking ahead to the rest of the week, as I mentioned, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, high pressure is still with us. Some fairly brisk winds, but actually temperatures gradually beginning to recover. Friday certainly looks to be the warmest day of the week. We could see highs up to 21, maybe even 22 degrees. So plenty of sunshine on offer. But of course, with the bank holiday just around the corner, signs of something more unsettled, we will of course keep you posted. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Typical Monday lovely, Tuesday lovely, Wednesday lovely.
Bank holiday.
That is it from us for now. We shall see you tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for joining us.